Welcome to another episode of me teaching my beginner bakers how to bake the most amazing cakes. Right now I am on TikTok live and I'm going to be answering a few questions that are coming in live from my viewers. I thought I'd just record this process to put on my YouTube channel so you guys can always go back to see these questions and their answers whenever you feel like, okay? So let's get the first question. The first question is, why do I put vinegar in my cakes? So, most of my cake recipes have baking soda or bicarbonate of soda inside them. And the bicarbonate of soda needs something acidic to react to. So when you put the vinegar inside your cakes, it reacts with the baking soda and create that nice chemical reaction inside your cake that leaves you with the most soft and delicious cake crumb. So I always put bicarbonate of soda in my cakes along with vinegar. The rule of thumb is 1 tablespoon of vinegar per cup of milk, and the vinegar will cause the milk to start looking as if it's curdling, looking like cottage cheese, but that's what you want. Add 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I love to use white vinegar to your cup of milk. Give it a little stir and let it sit while you prepare your other ingredients. Next question. Do you cook your cakes for longer but on a lower temperature? That's what I always do. So I always bake my cakes at 140 to 145 degrees Celsius, and I bake them for a longer period of time. So whenever you take your cakes out of the oven, if they come out of the oven and you see this massive peak in the center of your cake, like volcano is about to erupt, it simply means that your oven temperature is way too high. And what you don't want is the outer parts of your cake baking long before the center is. So the outer parts are starting to get dry and hard, and the middle of your cake is not yet baked. And that's cause your cakes to rise unevenly and cause that massive peak in the center of your cakes. So always bake on a lower temperature for a longer period of time. So if at the moment, every oven is different, so I don't want you to just set your oven at 140 degrees or 145 degrees Celsius, your cakes may not come out right. So what I'd advise you to do, if you bake your cakes and the cakes come out looking as if the temperature is too high, outside is way too brown, or that massive peak in the center, just reduce your oven temperature by 5 degrees the next time you bake and observe what happens. If the same thing happens, you reduce it a little bit more until you hit that sweet spot with your specific oven. Next question. What type of icing do you think is best for a beginner? Well, honestly, I don't think there's a specific icing that is better for a beginner. The icing that I use at the moment is called a mock Swiss buttercream, and I promise you it is so simple to make. Very quick to put together. It's very soft, very creamy, very delicious, and it's absolutely stable, all right? However, at the end of the day, you have to know that buttercream is buttercream. And if it's not in the right condition, not in the right climate, if it's left out in the sun, no matter what it's made of, the main ingredient in your buttercream is butter. And your buttercream will melt no matter what type of buttercream you use. So I do have my buttercream recipe on my website. The link to my website is www.trevsweetescape.com. So you can go to my website and order yourself a copy of my mock Swiss meringue buttercream. However, if you want to start off with a quick and easy buttercream, I'd advise trying the icing sugar and the butter. Start off with 500 grams of unsalted butter and 500 grams of icing sugar. Whip your butter until it's nice and pale and fluffy. That will take you about 10 to 15 minutes, just whipping the butter by itself. Then you can go ahead, sift your icing sugar, add it to your whipped up butter, and continue mixing until everything is well incorporated. That should be a very nice, quick and easy, beginner friendly buttercream to use. You can always add a bit of flavor to it, like vanilla or lemon or whatever flavor you want to go ahead and use. Next question. What is the benefit of adding hot coffee to your chocolate cakes? So that's a very, very good question. Whenever you add the hot coffee to your chocolate cake, the coffee, it's not going to turn your chocolate cake into coffee cake. The coffee just really enhances that chocolate flavor, and it just take your chocolate cake to a whole new level. So just give it a try. Start off with like a half teaspoon, a 1 teaspoon or half tablespoon of coffee. I love to use the Nescafe brand in my chocolate cakes. Just give it a try and come back and let me know what you think. All right, make sure your water is nice and hot. You add your coffee to it. So it's just like you're adding a hot, strong black coffee to your chocolate cake. Also, if you want a very good chocolate cake recipe, mine is available on my website for purchase, so you can go check it out. Next question. So the next question is how to add the baking soda and the vinegar to your cake if your recipe doesn't call for milk. You can just add the vinegar to the cake and make sure that the baking soda is sifted in with your dry ingredients. And when you've done combine everything, you can just add your 1 tablespoon of vinegar. It will still have a good effect on your cake and leave you with a very nice soft crumb. However, all of my cake recipes call for milk, and these are recipes I've tried and tested in so many different ways, and I always stick to them. If you go on my Google page or on my website, you'll see lots of amazing reviews from my clients. My cakes are tried, tested, proven, and just absolutely amazing. So remember, if you want some good recipes, go ahead and get them. Does mock Swiss hold up better in the heat? Honestly, the mock Swiss buttercream, it's very stable. I've used it right throughout the year, summer, winter, heat wave, all sorts of conditions. I've used that mock Swiss buttercream. However, whatever cake I do, I always give my clients very clear instructions. Once you come to collect your cake, make sure when you're traveling to me, your air condition is on in the car, on full blast. Keep your cake nice and flat on the floor of your car until you get home. When you get home, you pop that cake in the fridge and you take it out 2 to 3 hours before it's time for you to cut your cake. Most birthday parties, most of the activities last about 2 hours. Everybody will get a chance to see the cake. The cake will still be on display for quite some time, and you'll get to cut your cake while it's still standing straight. No matter the buttercream, if you leave it in direct sunlight, if the car is hot, if you have heating inside your house and just leave the cake out, that buttercream will melt. I honestly once had a client that collected her cake. I love that cake so much. I put so much work into that cake, and the cake was just mind-blowing. It was amazing. And my client was trying to hide the cake from her son until he gets home from school. It was winter time, so everyone had eaten on inside their houses. And she left the cake in a room with the heat blasting from morning until evening when the son was back from school. And she went to the room and the cake was just crying. The whole cake melted. So you have to be careful with your buttercream cakes, no matter which method you choose to use to make your buttercream. Do we have any more questions? Guys, I don't think we have any more questions rolling in. If you have any further questions, please drop them down below this video and I will go ahead and answer them, all right? Until next time, keep on baking.